Are you ready, Vanessa?
I was born.
You were born ready. Vanessa, do you play SuperCard? The crowd is chanting WrestleDeck.
They sure are. WrestleDeck. There we go.
It's like CM Punk.
Hit the.
Would you please welcome to the Putting You Over podcast, a beloved husband and father, Steven from WrestleDeck.
Look at that. Well done, Ryan Romano. Welcome,
man.
Steven.
Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear us?
I can hear you great. I just actually watched you guys finish up your interview with Aaron. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, thank you.
And also, I'm pretty sure I DM'd both of you way back in the day to write for Wrestling News World. So I apologize if I slid and I didn't knock, or if I was supposed to knock and not slide, or however the DM thing was.
You know what? I believe I slid into your DMs, actually.
Oh, did you?
And I was like, I like wrestling. Maybe let me see what this is, because I saw you put it out. You would put out a tweet that said something like, "Are you interested in? Do you like wrestling, and do you like writing for wrestling, or something like that?" And I was like, I thought it was a gimmick. I just thought it was. I didn't know what it was. Like, oh, this person wants follows or something, or he wants interaction. And I was like, I'm just gonna ask him. I'm just gonna see what it is and go from there. And so I did slide in. I have written for Wrestling News World. I haven't lately, but things are crazy here. It's just how things work out. A lot of fans here for WrestleDeck tonight.
Oh man, awesome.
By the way, from where I'm standing here behind the bar, you look like Tommy Dreamer from Impact Wrestling.
Do I? I mean, I'm gonna take that as an insult. No, I'm just kidding. Oh no, it's fantastic. Anytime I could be compared to a hardcore legend, I'm gonna take it.
It probably has more to do with the fact that these prescription sunglasses are like 3 prescriptions old. So, but so yeah. So for those people that don't know, Steven,
sure.
How would you describe your spot, your position, what you do at Wrestling News World, and what WrestlingNewsWorld.com is?
Okay, so for Wrestling News World, at this point, I'm pretty much a business manager. I started writing about 8 years ago for Tom, who runs the website. And over the years, I've written for many different places, been a news editor at many different places, and came back. Tom got sick at one point and asked me if I could help him out with the website, and put a team together last year. You were part of that. Vanessa was part of that. We've had many others, John, Javon. I feel like I should shout everybody out now, but everybody that joined over the last year, and I really, really helped turn some things around and put out some great quality content. So at this point, I kind of manage some business things, try to help put a team together. Actually, you probably do more with the site as far as getting people set up and writing and stuff like that than I do at this point.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of all in on this new venture I got going on, and but I still try to help out. I'm about 1,000 words into a 2,000 word article I'm writing about Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, yes, Adam Cole. What's going to happen with Adam Cole?
As I said, I think the biggest thing to expect at this point is a roller coaster ride. I honestly, if I had to put money on it, my guess is he doesn't know at this point.
He's on his Twitch channel.
Good for him. There you go. He's going to sign a massive deal with Twitch, an exclusive deal with Twitch to play WrestleDeck on Twitch.
He should.
You heard it here first.
Is he on his Twitch right now? No, he's not on Twitch. Allison K is though. Yeah, the Twitch has a lot to do probably with his decision. It's going to be interesting how that plays out. I agree. It is going to be a roller coaster. I don't know. I mean, he said he's not giving his Twitch up. He said he's not. So that means a couple things. One, it means, I'll get to WrestleDeck. Don't worry, Corey Bub. I'll get to it. It means a couple of things. So it means, one, he wants to stay at NXT. I don't see that as an option. He can go up to the main roster. Cool. And he can keep his Twitch stream, because Zelina still has hers, but she doesn't stream on it. So you see Alistair stream on it. So they keep the actual channel, but she's not visually there at least for now.
Sure. I mean, my guess would be he's Adam Cole. He's 32, and if you're Vince McMahon and you want to keep him and you want him on the main roster, you're gonna have to let him have his Twitch.
Yeah,
and if you're not willing to do that, then you're gonna send him right to Jacksonville.
Work it into the contract at least. Someone else was. I think it was Mark Henry. I busted open said, or it might have been Bully Ray, but it doesn't matter. Said, just bring these things up, bring them in the contract negotiations, work them out, figure something out. So we will see. It will be a roller coaster. Either way, it's going to be awesome for us fans. So now that leads me down to this new venture that you went. So WrestleDeck. So when did you have the idea to bring another mobile? Well, I guess not another, because the only mobile wrestling card game I know of is SuperCard. But when did you have the idea that you wanted to bring another one into the universe, so to speak?
So I mean, the initial idea for a wrestling mobile game that I would be a founder of actually didn't involve cards to begin with. It was last year when my developer and I were sitting in my kitchen, and he was kind of tired of working for a company out of San Francisco, and I said, there's look, the wrestling fan base is a rabid fan base, and they love great content, and right now indie wrestling's blowing up, and people are able to see these talents that aren't signed to these exclusive $1 billion or these billionaire contracts, and there's a market that's underserved right now, and I feel like there's something there, and but it was actually for WrestleDeck, would have probably been early March of this year. We sat down and we finally put it together. He put in his notice as he was a lead game developer for a outfit out of San Francisco, like I said, and it's the two of us. He would be the CTO, I would be the CEO of this venture, and we're really excited about what we're putting together here, because a lot of people immediately compare it to SuperCard.
Right.
It's different. It's different in so many different ways. Yes, it's wrestling. Yes, it's a card game. Yes, it's mobile. Outside of that, it's a completely different experience.
So I have that written down as a question. So how is it different? How are you going to make it different? Because the people are going to come in with the mindset, well, why do I want this? This is just SuperCard with a bunch of different skins.
Yeah, so it's not. If you play SuperCard, actually, when we were kind of batting back and forth a few different ideas I had about wrestling games that could possibly be a thing. Like, actually, my first idea was DraftKings for wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I want.
You partner with all the different indie promotions. Boom, you put them together. You launch your own DraftKings, right, for wrestling. And that was my initial idea. So we're batting around these ideas in my kitchen, and all of a sudden it's like, well, there's really no other card games out there, and SuperCard does crazy great numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at it, because it's not even a game I play. And we put it on, and really the biggest thing people are going to notice. SuperCard, and look, WWE is a great company. They do a lot of great stuff with their mobile game, their video games in general. They're backed by a billionaire company.
Yeah.
But it's a very cluttered game. There's a lot that goes to it visually. You open up your app and there's a thousand things going. We're putting together a very modern, streamlined look with a retro feel. Like, there's a lot when my developer or my artist gets back to me about, how does this look and feel as a wrestling fan? I want to balance that new age with that old feel a little bit. The biggest core difference, though, is going to be in the gameplay. SuperCard, I don't know. Have you ever played SuperCard?
We were talking about this earlier. I have played it, but not enough to even remember the mechanics. It never held my attention, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It has a lot going on.
Yeah,
it's like walking into a circus or something. It's just everything everywhere. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But no, I haven't played it enough.
So the biggest difference our players are going to notice is that when you go into a match with SuperCard, it's a video, and it's typically a 1 or 2 move video, and that's it. Boom, it's over. You're now cycling back through. You're buying your next pack of cards. You're setting your lineup, and you're going back in. You're watching another video. In our matches, you will actually get to control the card. You will get to select the moves you do with the card. And that is a big feature. That is something that I think fans of SuperCard, if they pick this up and now all of a sudden they have the ability to actually fight a match with their cards that they've collected, they're going to enjoy that experience a lot more than what SuperCard currently provides.
So, like a Pokemon experience. I don't play that game, but
Sure.
I have friends that do.
Okay.
And they'll get their. Okay, now I'm getting really geeky because there's a game.
Right?
There's a game called
Nerd alert.
The nerd alert. There's a game called Darkest Dungeon, and so you get like a little group. So let's say you get your 4 characters, and they each have their own abilities and whatnot. And you come up against another 4 characters, and you literally select how you're fighting, what you're gonna do. So it has that aspect of it. Is what I'm gathering. Like,
Sure.
like if I have a certain wrestler, and we'll get to who you announced so far against another one, I select their abilities, their moves. Interesting.
Yeah, so think of it like any other traditional wrestling game, right? Like you select one of your characters. They have a preset list of moves that is associated with that character and a finishing move. So you're gonna get a few different options when you go into a match. Boom, boom, boom. You're gonna be able to select the move you do. And yeah, there is a little bit of Pokemon to this game.
Yeah.
Something that we revealed today was the types and the tiers of the different cards, where actually, depending on the type or the tier you have, really the type, you might have an advantage over a different type card. So there's going to be 3 different types. Oh, there we go. We got a LSG there.
Yeah, that's I got all 3 of LSGs. So his 10, his 20, and his 30.
So that's actually his lower card. That's his mid card.
And then
next was the main event that we actually debuted with Cheeseburger on Saturday. I thought that was fantastic. But you're actually going to be able to take the level. So the number you see at the bottom right is the level of the card. You could have a level 100 lower card LSG. But if you brought that lower card LSG and fought a main event version at a level 100, that main event version is probably going to beat the hell out of that lower card version.
Interesting. So probably, or is going to?
I mean, there's always opportunity for upsets, right?
Right.
So I mean, just like in the wrestling world, you get your 1, 2, 3 kids over your Razor Ramones every now and then.
Yeah. Or you're returning Becky Lynch's.
But hey, if you got to get a squash in, you got to get a squash in.
You got to get a squash in.
Dear Lord.
Well, I mean, Bianca was not prepared, obviously. So
So like I used to play Champions, which was like after a while it became a whale game.
Okay.
And so like what are the odds on picking cards? Like is it gonna be like so Champions was like a bejeweled game, but then you got your wrestlers from like say a box, and that you pick. So for the most part, you always got who you already had in your roster, but to get like the top tier people, you had to like pay. Like some people were paying upwards of like $1,000.
Man, can I get in on that? No.
Well, exactly, but that's like where the game became like, a whale game. So like,
I will say
are the odds going to be nice? Where like, if you want, say that main event character, you will have a better chance to get it, or is it going to become like a whale style?
So, I'll tell you this: my developer has told me from the beginning his number one focus is player centric. He wants to put together a game where it's not just pay to play. It's not just a big reason he wanted to leave and do this project is he wanted to do right by players. He wanted to put together a game that people will pick up and enjoy playing. So first things first, that is the number one priority of this game is to make a fun game that people want to play. They don't feel like they have to play or pay to play. Secondly, there at launch we're looking at probably 3 packs that are going to be laid out in different ways. We're going to call it pack 1 for now because I can't give too much away. We'll call it pack 1, where you'll have a lower chance of getting one of those main event cards. Pack 2 a little bit greater. Pack 3 your greatest opportunity. Of course, we want people to continuously play to collect and get these cards, but we even have some things in the works where even if you get some of those repetitious cards, you might be able to do some cool things with them.
We got some questions coming in, so I have to ask.
I bet, man.
I have to ask them before I either forget them or miss them. Somebody asked earlier, and I apologize for not. Oh yeah, Corey said, "Are there any WWE superstars in the game?" I would imagine released ones.
So I mean, Leo Rush was a former WWE guy.
Mm-hmm.
We announced him, of course. That was our second announcement. As far everybody should know at this point, WWE has exclusive contracts with their talent. Does not allow their talent to show up in outside venture. So no current WWE superstar is on our roster. However, talents that are no longer with the company and possibly released might be in the game.
Now, do you have to wait the non-compete clause before you can reveal them?
That is correct.
Oh.
I will say, whoever asked this question and whoever's interested in this, you may want to tune in to our Twitter account at WrestleDeck on Monday, September 4th. And if you can do math, you can figure out, you might be able to get some clues.
Interesting. WrestleDeck. Twitter.com/WrestleDeck. September 4th. That's a Monday.
That's a Monday before Raw. 6 o'clock before Raw.
You strategically announce these releases. That's what I've noticed.
Do I?
Yes, you strategically do it.
Man.
They're right before Raws. They're right before Darks or Elevations or Impacts or Rampage.
I will tell you. So I live very close to my my developer.
Okay.
We actually live 2 houses away from each other. And Fuego was our first announcement. Yes. We landed him, very, very happy about it. Actually, there's a story within signing him, but I said he's going to be our first card announced. We're going to do it. He had just had that little altercation with Andrade backstage. Had a feeling he'd be on Dynamite. And I don't think I could have planned that one better. Yeah. Within about 10 minutes, we had 1,000 views. Before the end of Dynamite, we had about 10,000 views on the video. Very exciting night for us and for Fuego.
And we'll get back to the wrestlers and who's been announced. But I have to get this next question in. From Gaming King 08, he said, will there be any in-game events or like a draft board or anything to that nature?
Yeah, so what we're going to have to realize is it's 2 of us. Right. What we release and what we're going to be able to do over time are going to be a little bit 2 different things. The plan is to do a lot of really cool things with this game within the first year. Upon release, there will be a task system and stuff like that where you can do different tasks every day and gain some money and stuff. But those are things we can certainly look into. And one of the things I want to let everybody know is if you correspond with the WrestleDeck account, we try to be extremely engaging with everybody, and we're very much into feedback. If you have cool ideas, if you have things you want to see in the game, please reach out to us and let us know.
That leads me right into True Rock's question. He wants to know, are you looking, you have I know 2021, a launch date. a rough one. Any beta testing dates he's interested in?
Not yet, but we should have beta testing dates coming soon. We're gonna need beta testers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The DMs are open over on WrestleDeck.
Can slide right in.
Knock or slide. Vanessa, you still got to get. I got to get a jury on this one because I've been just willy nilly sliding into these DMs here lately. So I got to make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
I think it depends on the context of what you're stating.
Okay.
Good point.
So if you are malicious, it's a slide. If you are looking for or requesting an opportunity, then it's a knock.
Okay.
My go-to move is I'll slide into someone's DM and say, "May I DM you a question?" That's what I do.
You're such a dad, dude.
I am. Blowout Man, longtime friend of this show,
Cool.
says, "Is a Ziki Dice card guy, magician himself? Will we see a Ziki Dice?" Has that been announced that he's on Impact? Like, is that
He signed with Impact.
Okay, that's a legit thing. Okay.
I would encourage anybody. We're gonna have a big reveal week next week, much like we did last week.
Right.
All Out's next week, not this weekend, but the following weekend. We're gonna have something called Elite Week.
Okay.
Every announcement that we have that week will have appeared on AEW.
Right.
So, if you are a fan of Ziki Dice, you might be excited.
Might want to tune in.
Might want to.
They're flowing in now.
By the way, Lunar Raid is in the chat. That's my developer.
Oh, spectacular! Because I buried their handle when they came in. I said, Lunar Raid. What's that? It's Lunar Raid. Awesome. Thank you for coming in.
He's the brains, but look, man, I never knew how much went into this. Like,
I bet.
my whole background is I'm a sales and marketing guy. That's what I've done pretty much my whole adult life. And then when we come together with these, I have all these ideas of really cool things, like the animations and all these reveals, right? And I go to him and I'm like, "Hey, how difficult is this?" And he's like, "Well, it's gonna take about 4 hours." It's like, wow, really?
So one of the questions I had for you, but maybe it's a better question for your developer. There is a big market, especially with these indie wrestlers. You see it in the WrestleCode, which is a virtual basements video game where they almost the same concept, there with both of you, but one's a card game, one's a video game. Why did you guys decide to go with the card route as opposed to like an AEW's Elite General Manager, which is kind of the same idea, but instead of cards, it's just like almost like Paper Mario figures, not cards.
It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we saw that, and very text based. It's just a rolling GM mode.
Yeah,
I think it's smart. It's something that fans really like. Honestly, it's something that I would love to eventually. One day, maybe, if this game gets off the ground and is successful, actually incorporate a GM mode into the card game. But the reason we chose a card game is simple. Only WWE was doing it.
Yeah.
And we felt like we could do it differently enough. What's the term everybody's? We want to be the alternative.
The alternative. I believe Austin Green is the alternative. Is that his name? Austin Green?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the alternative.
No, Anthony Green.
Anthony Green.
Austin
Gray, Anthony Green, whatever. He's the alternative. Very, very tough to figure out all these names with releases. Speaking of names, though, Fuego del Sol, you said Leo Rush announced. Who else do we have announced so far?
We have Joey Silver, Sweet Cheeks himself.
That's right.
We announced him a week after AEW when he appeared on AEW Dark. Yeah, he appeared on Dark. Mm-hmm. Masha, who everybody else is in on the Masha business right now, so we decided we would jump in there as well. We hope that she wins that NWA.
We were just talking about
tournament.
that.
Yeah. I mean, on behalf of WrestleDeck, we'd love to send her a shirt that she could wear before the tournament. JD Drake was announced that Wednesday. Rachel Ellering, super sweetheart, was announced on Thursday. Friday, just before his won the number one contendership, we announced Ace Austin. LSG and Cheeseburger just before their big match for Glory by Honor Night 2. And then Evilise on Sunday to our cherry on the top of our big reveals week.
Can the female cards wrestle the men?
Yeah, well, they're cards. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, they're cards. It's actually something that we talked about because when we started, my developer, the roster's all me.
Okay.
So when it comes to this roster and how it's put together, it's me. And I said, women's wrestling is a big thing right now, and we would be foolish not to incorporate women's wrestling into this game. And when you take into effect, it's really indie based, and you also take into effect their cards. You're gonna be able to wrestle your Rachel Ellering against your JD Drake, or your Masha Slamovich against your Joey Silver. You're gonna be able to wrestle whoever you have against whoever's out there.
Gaming King comes at us again with another question in the chat. Do you think it would be possible to introduce a feature upon release or with an update within the first year that would allow image swapping? For example, lower card Fuego del Sol image can be selected on the main event Fuego del Sol and vice versa. I have no idea what he's talking about.
So I think what he wants to do is take the picture off a lower card maybe and put it into the main event. Be able to, because each card has a different photo.
Okay.
To be able to kind of select whatever photo you want. It's actually something I've talked to my developer about. I don't have an answer for that right now. We are looking to do some really cool things after release, like I said, but we got to get there first. And but it is something we've discussed. I just don't have an answer for it yet.
I mean, that's the whole point of the cards. Like, you want to get that? Forget it. Anyways,
so how do you go? Like, how does one go about? Because you said you're doing the roster. So, like, is it just all like sending requests out? Like, hey, do you want to be a part of a video game? Like, I'm boggled by this.
So I've been lucky enough over the years, whether it was last year putting together the show that we did for Fight for the First Responders.
Yep.
I've been lucky enough to be around this business enough where I've accumulated some contacts. So yeah, a lot of it is emailing people, putting yourself out there, touting our developer. A lot of questions I got back was, well, who's building this thing? What is it? And my developers worked on so many successful mobile games. The Godfather mobile game based off the movie, Cat Life, Everwing, Ziki Dice. I mean, he's worked on some games that have had a lot of success. But yeah, going back to the original question on what it's like to get talent a part of this. For me, luckily, I have some contacts and I've talked to people in the past, so it's a little bit easier on that barrier than just kind of cold calling somebody you've never talked to before.
Newology. Any idea how often new tiers will drop? So these are coming out in packs?
Within the packs, you're going to be able to pull specific tiers out of each pack, right? So back to Vanessa's question earlier, so each tier card, like your lower card, your mid card, your main event, you're going to get a certain percentage chance of pulling each of those out of each pack. We're launching with 3 different tiers. I kind of lie about that. The majority of the cards are fit into 3 tiers. We do have a special tier we haven't talked about yet that I think is going to get a lot of people excited. But pretty much the game revolves around 3 tiers: a lower card, a mid card, and a main event, in which you'll be able to pull those based off percentages off of one of these 3 packs.
And besides the cards, the wrestlers with their abilities, you have like I can click something that allows me to use a kendo stick, right, and stuff like that. Like
so no, we don't have any weapons in the game yet. There is a box of gimmicks.
Box of gimmicks. That's what I'm looking for. Yes.
So there's a box of gimmicks. You'll actually click into that to go to the store. That's where you'll buy your packs. That's where you'll also buy your boost. I put a lot of time and effort into naming the boost. If you're a wrestling fan, you should get a kick out of the names of the boostable items because it's I would say they're Easter egged, but it's just kind of thrown in your face. So
I think we need a putting you over boost. So if you have that and your character was on putting you over, then they will be loved by the fans. I think we should. I'm going to talk to Lunar Raid.
Maybe if you've been on putting you over, you're automatically a babyface, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, we've been told that we're a heel show.
We have been told we're a heel. Yes.
Man, I wonder. It probably depends on what Twitter saw my tweet on whether I'm a heel or a babyface.
That's a good point.
But yeah.
My biggest thing. First of all, the packs. Can I just earn packs? I play MLB The Show on Xbox. I can earn packs. I can earn stuff to buy the pack. Can I just earn them?
Yep. You're going to be able to wrestle your way to getting enough. I'll go ahead and give this one away. Okay. So I told you there's some Easter eggs in this game, right?
Yes.
So there's a currency in the game that's called brass rings. So you're going to be able to take in-game currency and buy packs.
All right. Perfect. That's I know a lot of people like that. I know but I can like purchase like with real money. I can buy a pack, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be able to buy a pack. You're going to be able to use in-game currency to buy a pack. We're going to give you different options.
Okay.
And we're going to allow you to earn your way to just more out of than just the bottom pack, right? Because again, we don't want this to be pay to play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I play a lot of FIFA Ultimate Team. I play a lot of MLB The Show, and I take pride in building teams that I don't pay for. So all the players I got, all the things I got, I've earned and worked up and grinded towards. So that's for me as a video game player, that's something that appeals to me.
Yeah, we're hoping with the roster we've put together, we're launching with over 100 cards.
Yeah.
That you're gonna see these cards, and you're gonna be like, man, I really want that mid card Masha or that main event JD Drake or some of the other names we have. Again, we haven't even announced 25% of the roster yet, so we have a long way to go.
How many wrestlers are in the game?
Roughly 50.
50. So it's 50 with 3 each.
Two to three. Yep. 2 to 3 different tiers for each.
How replayable is the game?
I'm hoping very replayable. Again, it's not a game that you're just going to sit down and watch a video and then get another pack and then watch a video. There's going to be some strategy with it. You're going to be able to put together different factions to roll out for your matches. We're going to have different brackets that you're going to be able to wrestle in. You're going to be able to collect different cards. As I alluded to earlier, we're hoping that pretty soon after we launch, we're going to be able to take some of these multiples you might have and do some really cool things with them. Again, we're hoping to put together a fun game.
Right.
We the first thing we want to do is put together a game people want to play, because we feel like if we do that and we don't put together a game that we're just looking to suck money out of, the latter would come, right? Like if people want to play this game and play it a lot, then we'll have success with it.
Can I play? This is gonna be a stupid question. I've had Retromania Wrestling on here twice, and I always ask questions.
Good guys.
They're phenomenal people.
Yeah.
And I ask questions that, like, they were just starting. You're just starting. So I'm going to ask the question, and I know your answer is going to be, well, we're just getting our foot in the door and whatnot. Will I have the ability to play people online? Will it be online enabled?
So not at launch. I can give you an answer to that. Not at launch, but it is something we know people are going to want to do.
Yeah.
So it is a feature that we understand our players are going to want fairly quickly. So that's kind of what the plan is, launch it, allow you to be able to start building your deck and building your factions and stuff. And then hopefully sometime soon after that, we can launch the PvP option.
Good answer. Exactly what I thought. All right. Newology. Will there be any manager supports in the game similar to SuperCard to assist the superstar to the win?
I can tell you this, not likely at launch, but I have already had conversations with some managers that, if you follow indie wrestling and you follow some of these other companies you know of, it is a feature we will be getting in the game, certainly.
Well, if John Alba's in the game, I'm not
is not in the game. What are we doing?
What'd you say?
We both talked at the same time. She wanted to put somebody over, and I wanted to bury someone. She said, if Pollo Del Mar is not in the game, what are we even doing? I said, if John Alba is in the game, I'm not getting it.
Well, I mean, he's only got one Emmy.
It's true.
So I think unless CVV has turned me down,
yes,
with his multiple Emmys, then I mean, Vanessa, if you want to send me the contact info, as we've been saying, hey,
yeah,
DMs are open.
Yeah, Pollo would be great in this game.
Oh my gosh.
Woo. They're coming in fast. You got any other questions, Vanessa? I've ripped through all mine.
I don't like what. Okay, so I'm not like a game person. I get very, I don't know. I don't. It's like playability. Like, is it like something that someone isn't gonna have to think too hard about, or is it like gonna be a lot of strategy?
I think the joy, again, we're trying to make a pretty simple game. Right, you bring up SuperCard, and I'm not trying to bury anybody here. You bring up SuperCard, and a lot of stuff happens. Right, everything's all over the screen. We want to put together a more simple game. For the casual gamer, you're going to be able to pick it up, select the cards you want, go into your matches, and select the moves, and hopefully win. Right, then you're going to be able to go back in. For a more advanced player, you're probably going to start building factions based off of type and tier, and no different than Pokemon, really. Can you be a casual Pokemon player and walk through and beat the game?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I'm sure there's those more experienced Pokemon players that, they build certain factions and they build certain decks and stuff like that. And that'll be cool, especially when the PvP option comes up, because we do have type advantages in our game. Where, if you're playing player versus player, and you're playing somebody who also plays strategy WrestleDeck, you're going to want to put a strategy together. But if you're a casual gamer, you should have options in our game to pick it up, download it, play it, and have some fun with it.
Speaking of downloading, iOS, Android, both?
Yes, both. And we're actually considering putting it on Facebook as well as an instant game.
Interesting. That could open a whole new market.
Facebook has what? I don't even know what this is.
I don't go on Facebook.
I don't know anything. It's okay, you don't have to comment on that. I just know nothing.
Phenomenal. And I think like the questions could be endless. I think we could just keep rolling with them all night. But I'm going to give you the mic now, Steven. You can put over WrestleDeck. You can put over Wrestling News World. You can put over anything you want or bury anything you want. I don't give a shit. The floor is yours, my friend.
Cool. So, first off, what I'd like to do is bury the term buried. Can we get rid of overusing the term buried? I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. Bianca Belair, you're going to be just fine. You're not buried. But yes, WrestleDeck, coming the fall of this year. I promise you, the biggest thing you can do right now. I've had so many people reach out to me and say, Steven, what is the best thing we can do to support this game and make sure it's successful? Share it. Share. Let people know. Retweet, comment, like, follow. We don't have the $1 billion budget that other people have for marketing, right? So we're grassroots. It is two guys who have bootstrapped this game and who want it to be just as successful as you do. So if you want success for this game, when the WrestleDeck account puts out tweets, puts out reveals, share it, comment, interact. The more people see you interacting with this, the more likely somebody else will do the same. Also, WrestlingNewsWorld. How do I mess that one up? WrestlingNewsWorld.com, fantastic news site. We have the best live coverage of wrestling out there. Our live coverage team is fantastic. Kevin, John, Javon, Hakeem, so many great guys. And yeah, I want to put over the show, man. You've been doing a great job with this. I remember, it seems like forever ago now when, we first started talking about your show, and I love your format. It's actually, I had pitched an idea probably about a year ago to do a morning show format like Dan Le Batard.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're hitting a format that I really enjoy because it's wrestling, but it's not, but it is, and it's conversation, and I love it.
Yeah, like next week Thursday we have Danny Limelight on, which maybe we'll see in WrestleDeck. You never know. We're gonna have him on. We're not gonna talk a single ounce of wrestling. We're gonna talk about Joe Riv, his movie. The new Spider-Man trailer came out. I'm so excited about it, and I'm saving it all for Thursday.
Cool. Yeah, man. I'm so behind on movies.
Yeah, I bet.
Like I just watched InGame.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like a month ago.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah, man.
I don't think I saw Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh well, you gotta catch up.
Yeah, no.
I did see Endgame though.
Yeah, I just saw it a month ago. I still haven't seen the new the latest Star Wars. I'm unless it's a kids movie like Boss Baby 2. Watched it the day it came out.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Watch Paw Patrol on Sunday.
Absolutely, we did the same thing.
Look at you two. I force my kids to watch all the Star Wars. They've watched all the Marvel movies. They love Back to the Future.
My niece and nephew, man. My brother-in-law showed them Back to the Future, and they loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
Great. We're gonna get that guy on. What's that guy's name, Vanessa?
Okay.
The producer for Booker T show wrote the book. What's his name? Wrote the Back to the Future book. Brad. Yeah. Brad Gilmore.
Yeah.
Brad Gilmore. We're gonna get him on.
He's on the list.
He's on the list. Anyways.
I emailed him once.
Hey, he responded to me. I slid into his DM, but well, those people.
Maybe you just gotta do it then.
Just slide back in. Steven, you've been a pleasure. I feel like we scratched the surface. I think there's a lot more there. And as we get closer to release, we took our forbidden door off. So you're welcome back anytime.
Yeah, man. I will take you up on that. Thank you guys so much for letting us come on.
Yeah.
Thank everybody in the chat for coming in with the questions. Follow us at WrestleDeck on Twitter. And next week is Elite Week. You're not going to want to miss it.
Okay. Elite Week. We got it. Awesome.
All right.
Have yourself a great night. Thanks for giving us your time.
All right, guys.
Peace. Awesome. Slide into those DMs, blowout man. WrestleDeck. It was good.